Hello everyone, and welcome back again to a brand new video. Do you need to access the WooCommerce API for integrations? Well, in this video, you will learn how to get your WooCommerce API key in 2024 and start connecting with other tools and services. So guys, let's get started. Before we start with this video, make sure to watch it from now till the end so you can have the full experience. So, when we try to open our WooCommerce account for the first time and we try to connect it to our account, which is like WordPress, has to be connected, of course, with WooCommerce plugin, and to do so, we need some kind of connection between them. For this specific reason, you will need the REST API. So the WooCommerce REST API is a powerful tool for connecting your WooCommerce shop to external systems and resources. Unless you are a developer, in most cases, the integration you are working with will only require you to generate API keys for you to enter in their system, and you'll be connected to the external service. This document covers the basics of using the REST API from a merchant perspective with links to developer documentation for more advanced topics. So this one is for developer. Of course, it has more advanced topics like stuff that are related to coding and etc., which we will not cover in this video. But in case you're interested in learning all of this, make sure to mention that in the comment section. So, first of all, the requirements. So for the requirements here, we have to go to the WordPress permalink, and it must be set to something that is easily human readable. Add settings, permalinks. Their name is great default, but anything beside from plain should work. So here we have the name, month name, numeric, post name, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But for plain, it will not work. So make sure to put it at plain. Then, as you can see, to generate API keys, the WooCommerce REST API works on a key system to control access. These keys are linked to WordPress users on your website. So, simply go to your WooCommerce, then go to settings as you can see right here. Then you will go to advanced and you will find there the REST API. You could create a new API by clicking on Add API or Add Key, and as you can see right here, this page will open, or this window will open for you. It has a lot of details that we are going to talk about. So as you can see here, for example, we do have the key details such as the description, user, and permissions. And then once you have fulfilled all of these, click on Generate API. Now for the user, you're simply gonna give the name of the user that you have in WordPress. And for the permissions, there are three main permissions. There is the read access, the write access, and the read and write access. So you could go for one of these options, or you can go for like read and write access to go for both. Now after you do that, click on Generate API Key, and WooCommerce creates API keys for that user. Now that the key has been generated, you should see the consumer key and consumer secrets keys, a QR code, and a revoke button, as you can see right here. Consumer key, consumer secrets, and QR code. Now, test if the API is working. Use this step-by-step guide to test whether the REST API on your site is working. So this is something that is launched on GitHub. So if you would like to get started, you simply have to follow it like that. So to do so, now they have hidden this. So to make a basic request, the request URL will test is this is something that has like development stuff and testing things. This is more in depth with developers, so in case you were not a developer really, then you shouldn't really care about this. You should simply just go to the alternative software or platform that you were going to use the API key at and basically test it right there. In case it didn't work, then it doesn't work, so you should recreate it. Now we should enable legacy REST API. To do so, just go to the legacy API and click on enable. Then make sure to save changes, as you can see right here. Note, legacy REST API was found at WooCommerce settings API prior to WooCommerce 3.4. So just in case you didn't have the version, this is where you will find it. Then the legacy REST API is deprecated and should be removed from WooCommerce soon. As an alternative, there is a new REST API that integrates the WordPress REST API. This is the WooCommerce current REST API, and it's also enabled by default. So this is like the developer documentation for it as well. Now, what about some frequently asked question about the API? So here, why am I getting WooCommerce REST cannot view or 401 error while making a request? The first tip, make sure that you are using the correct API keys. If the keys are correct, make sure that the keys have correct permissions. If you are reading and writing data, then make sure the permission is set to read write. If the above is correct, then make sure your server is passing the authorization headers to the WordPress website. You can test this by passing in the consumer key and secret via URL rather than headers to confirm the issue. E.g., here it is how it looks like. HTTPS, domain name, WPG-SON, WC, v3, orders, consumer, key, and here put the key number, consumer secrets, and here the secret number. If you have access to .htaccess file, then add the below lines temporarily for the test. Since environment f authorization point plus HTTP authorization equals $0 and a rewrite rule WPG-SON equals HTTP authorization HTTP authorization L. So these are the main things that you need to care about for you to get the API key from WooCommerce and basically share it with other applications so you can literally just use it and connect it to other applications. Now there is an alternative for the API key in case you would like to connect the API like WooCommerce with other applications. For example, we do have Zapier, which is an alternative for the API key. Zapier is pretty helpful when it comes to making automations. You could use it to make something like integration with multiple apps or the same app. So in case you would like to know about Zapier and much more about that, make sure to mention that in the comment section. We will try to cover that. We've made a lot of videos about Zapier, but in case you would like an in-depth video about WooCommerce, etc., then yeah, make sure to mention that. I will try my best to actually cover it. Now, what would you like to automate? In this case, here on Zapier, we'll go to Zaps, and basically in Zaps here, you could choose trigger and choose WooCommerce. So as you can see, and now choose an event, and as you can see, you could do the integration that you want. We don't really need in the API key. Just by having like the account connected, it will be connected to Zapier very easily. And yeah, that was basically it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you have any more questions, make sure to mention them in the comment section, and see you guys in the next tutorial.